What's up, you guys? It's Oski, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Inart Dark Knight accessory pack for the Inart Dark Knight Christian Bale figure. So this is easily one of the biggest figures of the year. He, made waves with the amazing sculpt, the detail, the head sculpt especially. And we're going to be trying out this accessory pack, which comes with a couple different things, including a wired cape, some guns, and an empty helmet, and a couple other things. So let's break into it without further ado. Alrighty, so opening this thing up. Now, I've had this for a while, so long there's actually a bunch of dust all over it. I really should have opened it earlier, but you get busy with a couple things. Things start to pile up. It's the nature of the game, especially when you're ordering too many toys like I am. But I'm excited to see this thing because the one thing that the original release was missing was that wired cape, and so I'm glad they went and gave it to us some way or another. But I would have obviously preferred that to be part of the already decently expensive original one instead. The box is nothing really to look at, so we're gonna tuck that away. It'll go away. Okay, there we go. And now we can take a look at all of its contents here. Do not eat this, y'all. If you do, you'll probably die. So here's what you get. You're going to get an unmasked, or I guess his mask, his cowl piece. It's empty. You get two different facial expressions or lip things to change out. The cape, a chest to put the cape underneath, and then his little jetpack thingy. So let's get those things out. So it seems like it comes with this nice Inart bag too, which you always got to appreciate these small bags. They use these a lot for accessories and other stuff. You got some instructions. Let's get all these things out of here. So first of all, here's that open cowl piece I mentioned. This is going to be great if you wanted to be holding it with that unmasked head sculpt, which is just glorious. So you can have a nice display piece here, because otherwise you'd only have to have like the one with the face in it, and then you have to turn it backwards, but now you have an empty one. So that's great. You have a jetpack here, or whatever this thing is. I don't even remember what he uses this for, but I do remember the scene. It's where he's like, this is where he's... No, actually, I have no idea what scene this is from. I'll throw a picture on screen. I don't quite remember. I was going to say it's when he kidnaps the Chinese guy, but I don't think so. I think he flew in on with his cape or whatever. I don't remember. You get another chest piece, which, see if that looks any different there. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it'll look any different. I just think it's to facilitate this new cape. Maybe they wanted to redo it or something like that. I don't know. Maybe the old one wouldn't have worked with it. We'll find out once we get it on there. And then for two very small facial expressions, you definitely don't want to lose. You've got this one right here, which has slightly open lips. Very hard to see, but it's a very slight difference compared to, I guess he has a closed mouth, he has an open mouth now. We'll compare all the different faceplates that you get with. Then you got one finally with his teeth coming out. He's like kind of yelling, a little bit teeth gritted, angry. Rachel! Rachel! When he's like driving her and she's like dying or whatever. So that's kind of what you got there with those two facial expressions. And then the cape itself, which feels amazing. One thing I always loved about this figure was this drape cape. We don't get enough drape capes nowadays, or ever. And they can fill out a figure so nicely, especially if they come over the shoulders. This one doesn't really do that, but the LPZZ Batman, the comic one they revealed, has a beautiful drape cape, and I'm really glad they included that with a wired cape as well. This thing, it feels pretty good. I will say the wire feels a little bit small in there, so I don't know how well it'll hold up over time. I always get afraid because 90% of my Mafex capes that have wires always poke through the top or break somewhere, so that's kind of a shame. But it does look good. The wires seem to be holding the pose. We're just gonna we're gonna have to experiment more with that in the posing section after that when I take some photography. But let's go in close on the faceplates first. So the original release, and I don't know which of these came with the deluxe or not, but came with this head sculpt here, which is, pretty dang good. It looks awesome. His mouth is kind of like just closed. He looks intimidating. Yeah, it looks nice. Then it came with two alternate expressions that really do not alter a single goddamn thing, and so it really pisses me off. Like, what is the difference between these for one, And then what's the difference between that and this? Like, I genuinely do not understand what the difference between these three head sculpts are. They do absolutely nothing. This one, like, maybe has a slightly more open mouth, but they're all just lips closed. So that's really frustrating that they decided to do that, because they essentially force you to buy the accessory pack if you want any sort of an expression on your Batman. So the accessory pack going to give you, oh gosh, I dropped it, mouth open, but again, like just barely. So it's like, what do you do with this? It's just like a mouth open slightly, and then you get this slightly, you know, teeth out, open mouth expression, which is good. But like, there could be a yelling head sculpt or just a teeth gritted. Like, put the teeth on this one, teeth gritted. There you go. But instead, no, you have just a lot of lips. And it's kind of weird looking at these. They remind me of, like, isn't it like a creature, like a meme with like a mouth that just speaks? Maybe I'm thinking about those people that used to put their chins into the shirts and then put the googly eyes on their chins. I think that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's put these on the head and see what they look like. So to change them out, you basically just have to push on this circular part of the face or the lip area on the head sculpt. I don't really have anything better to push on it with, so I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife and see how that works. There you go. So you have to push a little bit, and I just dropped that. So be very careful you don't lose said thing. Um, Swear to me! Good thing is he does look really good holding that helmet there with the unmasked Christian Bale head sculpt. So, just for that look alone there, it's pretty badass and pretty worth it in my opinion. All right, so the instructions aren't the most clear, but I think it should be pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you just have to take off this chest piece, which I think kind of just pops off, or at least it should. There we go. So yeah, it's magnetic. Great system there. Make sure it stays locked in. It was a little bit hard for me to fit these underneath there the first time I put this on. So now that I'm taking this off, I'm a little bit upset that I have to do that again with a different thing. But first let's try throwing this on here. So I'm assuming does this go over? Yeah, okay, so that's going to go over that. So I wonder if this one is for when he's just wearing the thing. Okay, so that looks nice there. And then these things are going to go underneath that. Oh yeah, fits nice and snug. So there you go. You have that look. If you didn't want him to have a cape on, kind of got this like jetpack thing going on instead. That looks pretty cool. Throw some of those poses in the posing section. And yeah, it fits nicely and it's really easy to apply. You basically just take off the cape, put this extra chest piece on, slide those things underneath it, and you got it. You got that look. I'll probably always have Batman with a cape on, but cool to have it. Each of these chest pieces seem the exact same to me, so I guess you could put the cape on with either one of them. I thought maybe one of them was specifically designed for the other thing, but well, actually no, this one's a little bit shorter. So I wonder which one you're meant to use. I'm gonna try using the new one since they gave it to me with it. It's probably what you're supposed to use. Yeah, so we'll take the cape. Make sure we have the right side facing out. I'm gonna put this down over him like this. Gotta get these little pauldron thingies down there in the cracks where they're supposed to go. This is the hard part, is to keep them there while you get the cape chest piece on, because they have to be like in the perfect position. It's kind of hard to do it sometimes. It doesn't fit well. Like, I like the magnets, but this is kind of a pain in the butt. So we got one side. See, ah! Already after 10 minutes or so of finagling with that thing, I think I finally got it in there well enough to hold itself. I really do not like that kind of clipping into the chest system they've got there. Magnets are very strong and it holds it well, but trying to get them in there while you're trying to line it up, because they just fall out of the grooves in there so easily, it's really a shame, especially with this wired one, because of how heavy the back of it is. It was always just pulling it backwards out of the clips as I was trying to get it in there. But the cape is amazing. That's what I can say. Like, the wires in it are actually really strong, and there's plenty of them. There's like 6 wires. 6 wires. No wire around the bottom, but that's okay when you have this many going down it. And yeah, it just holds its position well. This is going to be an absolute blast to pose. And as soon as I clipped it on there, this figure felt complete. While I love the drape cape and I think it's an amazing thing, it just, it's not. Also, look at all that glue in there. No wonder why these things are so hard to get in there. Like, what the heck? Anyway, but it's not, it's not as cool and badass as this right here. This is Batman with his cape blowing in the wind. And yeah, I'm going to get some amazing poses out of this guy now, and he just feels that much better. So, without further ado, since we've kind of checked everything else out, let's go to the posing section. My final thoughts. This Inart Dark Knight accessory pack is awesome. It completes the figure and elevates it to a whole new level. For some reason, when I got the figure months back, I somehow deluded myself into thinking that Bale's Batman didn't even really need a wired cape. Oh, how wrong I was. And seeing it blowing in the imaginary wind on this figure, it took me back immediately to the Dark Knight trilogy, my favorite Batman movies, and my definitive Batman actor. Man, I'm going to have to rewatch those movies now, aren't I? The mouth plates are nice to have, but we still need more variety. And to be honest, all of these things should have been included in the original release, in my opinion. At least the cape and the expressions. The pack that actually expands into the wings in the China heist scene is a really dope inclusion too, especially because he actually uses that gun from the original figure with this backpack. Overall, I think this figure and accessory pack are phenomenal, and it really solves all the problems except for the ab crunch. But let me know what you guys think of the accessory pack down in the comments below. Was there anything else that should have been included? Also, who's your favorite Batman? Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Consider subscribing to see some more figure content. And as always, it's been Oski. I'm Batman.